What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to review Jamie Foxx's workouts and nutrition. I'm a huge fan of Jamie Foxx. I don't know him personally. I don't know any of his personal beliefs, but I freaking love the guy. He's hilarious. He's an amazing actor. I'm not a fanboy for many people. I'm a fanboy for Jamie Foxx. Now, I've done this with many other people. I've done this with Jennifer Garner's nutrition. I've done this with Jake Gyllenhaal's workouts, with Victoria's Secret models workouts. If you go to my channel, you can look through all the videos and you'll see I've done this many times if you're more interested in those. Either way, let's get into Jamie Foxx's nutrition, workouts, and fitness.
I wake up in the morning, I eat 32 raw eggs right out of a straw. And mind you, it's a paper straw, not plastic. So after those 32 raw eggs, I hit a hint of a pancake. And what I mean by that is I will make a stack of pancakes and sort of rub it on the outer layers of my skin. So therefore, I didn't ingest it, but you know what I did? I connected. So that's the first thing I did.
If you can't tell, that's him being sarcastic and funny. Honestly, Jamie Foxx could talk about a rusty nail and I would think it's hilarious. Like anything that he says, I'm just like, say more, I think he's hilarious. So that's not actually his nutrition. He's just being funny.
Diet is really like everything. And you don't, look, I had a friend, he says, he was at my house, he's like this. I said, what's wrong? I'm fasting, I'm on the mojito diet and
Mojito diet.
I said, hey, first of all, you can't starve yourself. Your body has to eat.
I love that. I love that right away. He's picking on the people who are like doing these super long duration fasts and not talking about intermittent fasting like a 12-hour, 16-hour fast. That's fine. The people who are like, I'm fasting for 72 hours or for a week straight, like fuck off. It's not healthy. And just so you know, most of the people who do this type of stuff, not all, but most of them have disordered eating habits. They often will be binging and then after their massive binge, they'll be like, fuck, I need to fast for 72 hours. Then they go on their Instagram and be like, look at me, I'm fasting for 72 hours. It's good for your health, blah, blah, blah. But like, you don't know that they just binge on like 10,000 calories and that's why they're doing it in the first place. Also, the mojito diet. He could say anything. I think it's funny. I like how Men's Health was like, mojitos are not a good source of protein. I think they're sort of playing into the humor as well. It's correct. They're not a good source of protein. They are, however, delicious. So we'll go with that.
Some of these Hollywood diets where you eat a basket of air and drink a cup of wind, don't do that.
A basket of air and a cup of wind. I'm stealing that line. It's genius. I'm so glad he's bringing it up. I mean, like, he's part of Hollywood. He's one of the most famous people ever. He's one of the greatest of all time actors. He sees the stupid shit that we see all the time with like the fasting and the detoxes and the cleanses and having a crouton as an entire day's worth of calories. It's just stupid. And I love that he's calling it out. Jamie Foxx, I doubt you're ever gonna see this. I doubt it. But if you do, like, fucking love you, man. Like, you're just the best.
I have my biggest meal in the morning because that's what gets me going. I eat egg whites.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with, he just said he has his biggest meal in the morning because that's what gets him going. Amazing. If that's what he prefers, fantastic. I don't want you to think you need to do that. If you like to have a big breakfast, go for it. If you don't like to have a big breakfast, don't have a big breakfast. You don't even need to have a breakfast at all if you don't want to. I love that he knows what he likes, so it makes him feel good. Just make sure you know that you don't have to have a big breakfast. It's not required. So he said he has egg whites,
Turkey sausage, a slice of toast, and orange juice.
egg whites, turkey sausage, toast, and orange juice. This is a very low-fat meal, so he cut the yolks out of the eggs. There's nothing wrong with cutting the yolks out. I do think it's worth noting that the yolks are not bad for you. In fact, they are very, very, very nutritious and nutrient dense. They have some amazing, amazing nutrient qualities to them. A lot of people get worried about the cholesterol. If you have very high cholesterol and your doctor said that you shouldn't be eating them, listen to your doctor. Otherwise, you're probably fine. People often mistake, they have this idea that if you eat cholesterol, then your cholesterol in your body is going to get super elevated. It doesn't necessarily work like that. There can be some relation between the cholesterol you eat and the cholesterol that raises or declines in your body, but it's not necessarily one and the same. Your body has something called a negative feedback loop. So as you eat more cholesterol, your body will produce less, and as you eat less, your body will produce more. So it often will self-regulate. Just keep in mind, egg yolks are a wonderful nutritious food source, and you don't need to cut them out. The turkey sausage is wonderful, very low fat option for sausage, high protein. So between the egg whites and the sausage, he's getting plenty of protein. The toast is great. I don't know whether it's wheat or white or sourdough, whatever. I don't care. I love how he's having carbs. He's also having some juice. I like that he's having juice because juice is often demonized in the fitness industry. Like, you should never have juice. It's full of sugar. It's just like having Coke. And it's like, here he is, clearly like a very healthy, very fit guy who is having juice, and surprise, surprise, it's not a problem. They'll talk more about that later later why it's not a problem. It's a relatively balanced breakfast. Candidly, I would like to see some more fat in there. I'd like to have a couple of egg yolks in there, maybe some avocado, something else. Maybe like if he cooks the eggs in olive oil, that would be a wonderful way to get more fat in there. Smoked salmon. It looks like he's trying to keep his breakfast very low fat, that's fine, but I don't want people to demonize fat either. Like if I was to add anything, it would just be a little bit more fat and then he would have been good.
For lunch, we'll have Brussels sprouts, bacon if you want it, salmon, a little bit of rice.
Okay, so Brussels sprouts, bacon if you want it, so optional bacon, salmon, and some rice. So this is very balanced, right? He's having some vegetables. He's having a good amount of protein again with the salmon and then also with the bacon. He's having some rice for carbohydrates. I mean, this is very balanced. He's having protein, carbs, and fats. The salmon, I don't like the term superfood. I think it's way overplayed and marketed. If I had to say like one food was a superfood, I would say it's salmon. Very high protein, very high quality fats. I think it's one of the greatest foods of all time. Bacon is fine. I mean, it's delicious if you want to eat it. I wouldn't say it's the highest quality of meat, but if you want to eat it, that's totally fine in moderation. I love the Brussels sprouts. I love the vegetables. I would love to see people eating more vegetables. I don't know how he prepares them, but that's wonderful. And then I like that he has rice as well. A lot of people demonize rice. They're like, rice makes you fat. And I'm like, okay, well, hold on. Some of the healthiest populations in the world are Japan. Statistically, they eat white rice every fucking day. So again, it's not that rice would be bad for you. Maybe it's that if you're eating too much of something consistently, then it would be bad for you. So far, it's a very balanced diet.
Then it's like a good steak, back to the vegetables, and you can eat that over and over again. You can eat as many blackberries as you want. You can eat that constantly.
I love that for dinner, he's having steak and vegetables. That's wonderful. It doesn't have to be steak. It could be turkey, it could be fish, it could be eggs, it could be tofu and beans. It could be any protein source with vegetables would make a wonderful dinner. He brings up a really interesting point that you can keep having that over and over and over again. I think what he's trying to say by that is it's very difficult to overeat those. It's very difficult to overeat on protein and vegetables, right? Whether it's steak or chicken or turkey or salmon or whatever it is, it's difficult to overeat that in vegetables. People usually aren't being like, oh my God, like I just kept eating that and that's how I gained 50 pounds. Usually it's the snacks, the chips, the ice creams that is much more easy to overeat on. And not to mention, you just get a lot of health benefits from the protein and the vegetables. He brought up blackberries. You can eat as many of those as you want. I'm gonna start by saying, I love blackberries. I probably had like half a pound of blackberries earlier today with my daughter. Love them. I don't like it when someone says you can have as much of this as you want. It essentially implies that you can binge on that food and there will be no negative repercussions, usually the negative repercussion being gaining fat. Too much of anything, including water, is bad for you. You have too much water and you'll die. You get killed if you drink too much water. So I don't like the idea of saying you can't overdo it. You absolutely can. No one ever got fat from blackberries though. No one ever got fat from watermelon. No one ever got fat from blueberries. You can eat a lot of them, very nutritious, super high in fiber, but I just like to stay away from the idea that you could binge on something because I don't think binging on anything is a good idea. Men's Health note here says, fear not the sugar in fruit, it comes with fiber. I don't like this. I like that they say don't fear the sugar in fruit because a lot of people are fear mongering the sugar in fruit, but they say essentially you shouldn't fear it because it comes with fiber, as though like, well, as long as there's fiber, you can have the sugar. It's like, you can have the sugar even if there's no fiber. It's totally fine. Nothing wrong with having sugar without fiber. I want you to get your protein in, I want you to get your fiber in, and if you have fruit, great. If you end up having a treat later in the day for some dessert, that's totally fine as well. It's not like fruit or sugar is only bad if there's no fiber in it. It doesn't make sense. So I don't really like that note from them.
A lot of times I don't like just water because when I was a kid, we was broke. We didn't have money to buy Cokes. I remember my grandmother would buy a 6-pack of Coke and say, this will last us till September. What? It's June. I'm not endorsing a product, but the LaCroix is a great way to get that fizz and the water in.
I love sparkling water. I love fizzy drinks. It's a really nice way to stay hydrated if you don't just want to have just plain water. Now, we could get into the whole philosophical discussion, the dopamine discussion around like, why do you need the fizz? Why do you need the sweetness of it? We could talk about that and there's a real benefit to it, but maybe we'll save that for another video. If you want me to make that video, leave a comment and let me know. The point is, whether it's LaCroix, as he mentioned, or Topo Chico, which is my personal favorite, or Poland Spring, or whatever, or a Diet Coke, for example, example, it's all water. And many people still ask me like, does that still hydrate you even though it's carbonated? Yeah, it's water. It hydrates you. Look at the main ingredient. You can always tell what the main ingredient in something is because it's the first ingredient. The main ingredient in seltzer or sparkling water is water. The main ingredient in Diet Coke is water. The main ingredient in coffee is water. It's all water and it will still hydrate you. So if you'd prefer to have sparkling water, that's totally fine.
I snack a lot, but if I snack a lot, that means I gotta go run a lot or I gotta go work out a lot. So
okay, so before we go into what he snacks on, he just said he snacks a lot, but if he does, he's gotta work out a lot. I like this and I don't like it. I like it because he's aware that snacks are often the reason people end up gaining unwanted weight. It's usually not the meals that people eat. It's usually what they're snacking on throughout the day that causes a lot of excess calories that you're not aware of, which for whatever it's worth is why I strongly recommend writing down and tracking your calories for at least a week. And if you don't know how many calories you should be eating every day in order to lose fat, I have a free calorie calculator. The link is in the description. I'll send it right over to you. It will tell you exactly how many calories you should eat in order to lose fat sustainably. It will also tell you how much protein to have every day to lose fat sustainably. Again, the link is in the description if you want my free calorie calculator. He brings up a really good point that snacking is often the downfall for most people. However, I don't like how he's saying that because he snacks, he needs to work out, almost like I need to earn these snacks, or he's punishing himself for having these snacks. I don't think that creates a good relationship with food or with exercise. You can have snacks even on your rest days where you don't work out, and you can work out and you can have snacks. You could not have snacks, and as long as it fits within your calories throughout the day, you're still gonna lose fat. And again, if you don't know how many calories to have, link in the description for my free calorie calculator. But I just don't like the idea of saying you need to punish yourself if you do have snacks, or you can only reward yourself with food if you work out. I think it's a flawed way of looking at things.
Salt and vinegar chips, salt. We say salt. In Turtle, Texas,
makes me laugh.
Salt. Some people say salt, that's fine.
Salt and vinegar chips, I freaking love salt and vinegar chips. I just like how he's being honest. He's like, yeah, I love chips, I'll have snacks as well. It's important to eat in moderation, not just be super restrictive.
Think about workouts, especially as you're getting older, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, 18 years or 35 years of experience. You don't need a trainer. Go back to the old school calisthenics. Because what we have is workout anxiety.
This is the first thing that I don't fully agree with him on. I agree that you don't need a trainer. You don't. You have the internet, my YouTube channel, tons of other people's YouTubes, Instagrams, whatever, free workout programs online. You don't need a trainer. However, he's saying that you get this workout anxiety, and I think he's gonna say it in a little bit. I might have just jumped the gun a little bit because he was gonna go into a different topic. But he says we get this workout anxiety like, oh my God, I got to meet the trainer, I gotta meet the trainer, da da da. Honestly, that accountability is what keeps most people on track with their workouts, knowing that they have to meet their trainer, that they can't let someone down, that they can't just cancel the appointment. I agree you don't need one, but if that's what's gonna keep you accountable, it's a really good idea to have one.
If you can manage to get 20 pull-ups a day starting out, that means however you get to it, do 2 to 3 or whatever like this. And if you can get 25 dips, 50 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, if you can get 20 to 30 back extensions, you're done.
I'm glad he included this because I love this guy. I disagree with him on this. Not necessarily disagree, actually I do disagree, but also this just shows he takes for granted his level of fitness. He's saying if you could just get 20 chin-ups throughout the day and you could just do 2 or 3 at a time. And I'm like, you've never coached anybody, because if you coached people, you would know they're like, most people in the world can't do 1 chin-up, never mind 2 or 3 at a time to work up to 20 throughout the day, 50 push-ups or 50 dips or whatever it is. Like, that's very difficult, and they're amazing exercises. They're phenomenal exercises, and I completely agree that people should be doing them. To just say like, put up a chin-up bar in your room and get 2 to 3 at a time throughout the day until you get to 20, it goes to show, I mean, he's an actor, he's not a personal trainer. He doesn't know that the vast majority of people, they can't do that. Not to mention, having a coach who could help them progress to that point would be unbelievably helpful. I love calisthenics. Calisthenics are generally more body weight type exercises that he's recommending. He's saying you don't need machines or dumbbells, which is true, you don't need them. The way I look at machines or dumbbells or squat racks or barbells, any of that, kettlebells, any of that stuff, it's all part of a toolbox. And so within your toolbox, I would rather have more tools than I need, just in case I maybe want some variation, or I want to try something new, or I want to attack a different goal. Maybe my goal is to get really strong with my deadlift. You can't get really strong with your deadlift without a barbell and weights. You don't need them, but every tool has its use and its benefit. If you'll notice, what he was saying is for his exercises, the chin-ups and the dips and the push-ups, they're all great exercises, but they're all upper body exercises. He didn't discuss lower body. So if you want to train your lower body, which you should be doing, and especially if you want to load it, it helps to have these different pieces of equipment and not just do purely calisthenics. You can do weightlifting as well.
My favorite cheat meal, if I'm going all out, it's called the Sophia pizza. It's like this white cheese pizza with the sausage on it. I can eat that thing like, man. Oh, them crab claws is amazing too.
I love white pizza. I love white pizza. And what he's about to say is freaking hilarious. He likes the crabs.
I've never ate a person's hand like that. Because you think about it, I'm basically eating somebody who used to do this. He used to greet other crabs. Like, hey, man. And now I'm eating his greeter.
I've spoken about cheat meals a lot before. I'll just say, I think it's important to eat in moderation and enjoy your favorite foods in moderation. What I think is important is I don't like the idea of having a cheat meal. Cheat implies you're doing something wrong, cheating on your partner, cheating on a test. No one looks at cheating as a good thing. There's nothing wrong with having some of your favorite foods in moderation. Just keep that in mind.
Don't kill yourself trying to be in shape. Just moderation. Eat what you like, just don't eat as much of it.
I love that. I think it's absolutely perfect. Moderation. You don't need to kill yourself. Every workout doesn't have to be your best. I have a rule that I took from a guy named Dan John, amazing coach. It's the rule of 5. For every 5 workouts, you're gonna have 1 workout that's amazing, 1 workout that sucks shit, and 3 workouts that are just meh. They're just okay. The vast majority of your workouts are just gonna be like, I just gotta get it done. It's not gonna be a world record workout. There's gonna be 1 workout in every 5 that absolutely sucks and 1 that's absolutely amazing. You don't have to kill yourself every time. You shouldn't kill yourself every time. Just get in there, just get it done. Just showing up. Just show up and get something done, and don't try and kill yourself, because the more you try and kill yourself, the faster you're gonna burn out. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you don't already. If you want my free calorie calculator to tell you how many calories to eat to lose fat sustainably, the link is in the description. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon.